Ever feel like something's watching you? Do you enjoy the sounds that make your skin crawl? Welcome, brave souls, to Haunted Echoes. Are you ready? Grab your headphones, dim the lights, and let's journey into the world of the paranormal, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying. In a small isolated village, there was an ancient library that housed thousands of books, some as old as the village itself. The librarian, Mr. Eldridge, was a peculiar man with an uncanny ability to remember every book and every story contained within the walls of the library. One stormy night, a young woman named Elara stumbled into the library, seeking shelter from the relentless downpour. Mr. Eldridge, with a warm smile, welcomed her in and offered to show her some of the library's rarest collections. As they walked through the dimly lit aisles, Elara's eyes fell upon a peculiar book bound in faded leather, with no title on its cover. Curiosity piqued, Elara asked about the book. Mr. Eldridge hesitated for a moment before explaining that it was known as the Book of Forgotten Stories, rumored to contain tales that had been erased from the world's memory. He warned her that those who read it often found themselves lost in its pages, never to return to reality. Despite his warnings, Elara felt an irresistible pull towards the book. With a trembling hand, she opened the book to a random page and began to read a story about a village remarkably similar to hers, plagued by mysterious disappearances every full moon. The villagers spoke of a shadowy figure that roamed the streets at night, its presence always followed by the disappearance of one of their own. As Elara delved deeper into the story, the world around her seemed to fade away. She found herself transported to the village in the tale, standing in the middle of a cobblestone street under the light of a full moon. Heart-pounding, she looked around, realizing that she had become a character in the story. In this eerie village, Elara encountered various inhabitants, each sharing their own chilling experiences with the shadowy figure. They spoke of it as if it were a living nightmare, a curse that had befallen their once peaceful village. Elara, driven by a desire to solve the mystery, decided to stay awake during the next full moon to witness the figure herself. As the moon reached its zenith, a chilling silence fell over the village. From the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in darkness, with eyes that glowed like embers. Paralyzed with fear, Elara watched as it glided towards her, its presence suffocating. Just as it reached out to her, she was suddenly pulled back into the library. Gasping for breath, she found herself back in the dim aisle, with Mr. Eldridge standing over her, a look of grave concern on his face. He explained that she had been lost in the book for hours, her eyes glazed over, as if in a trance. Shaken, Elara decided to leave the book and the library behind, but the story continued to haunt her. In the following days, Elara couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows seemed to linger longer, and the night felt oppressively dark. The image of the shadowy figure from the book began to appear in her dreams, each time coming closer and closer. Then, on a night when the moon was full, Elara awoke to find the figure from the book, standing at the foot of her bed. In terror, she realized that the story had followed her into the real world. The figure reached out and everything went black. The next morning, Elara was nowhere to be found. Her room showed no signs of struggle, and her disappearance remained a mystery. Back in the library, the Book of Forgotten Stories sat on its shelf, its pages fluttering as if calling out to the next curious reader. In the village, whispers began to circulate about Elara and the ancient library. Some said she had become part of the book's many forgotten stories, doomed to relive the tale of the shadowy figure for eternity. Others believed that the book held a darker secret, one that connected the world of stories to reality. As the library doors creaked open to welcome a new visitor, the Book of Forgotten Stories waited patiently, its pages ready to envelop another soul in its haunting tales. The story of Elara and the shadowy figure had ended, but the book's legacy was just beginning, leaving readers to wonder who would be its next victim. I hope you liked tonight's creepy stories. If you enjoyed this video or if you want more, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more weekly horror stories that'll send chills down your spine. Good night, if you dare.